to Wars in the Stars. Alex, take it away.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast where these episodes are just the most scarring things of all time. I think Disney should be canceled, and I think I should sue them for hurting my feelings. That's all I could think about when I was at work was this episode.
It's a good episode.
It was. I mean, not to start off on this bad note, but I saw someone on TikTok say that Loki is by far the weakest of the three shows that have come out so far. And I was just like, yeah, maybe in your branch timeline, it's the worst. But in this current, actual sacred timeline, it's the best.
I totally agree.
I will say it's kind of lacking a good theme. And I will say this, there was a few things in this episode I did have a problem with. But literally other than those things, this was a great episode. Yeah, what do you think about it?
I thought there were a lot of interesting storylines. The first time I watched it, the first, let's say 20 minutes of the episode. So for the first half of the episode was a little slow. I liked it still, but it was a little slow. And then the last 20 is some of the best, I think, Marvel stuff I've seen. I think it's top tier Marvel
Absolutely.
Stuff. And it's very hard with a character like Loki, who has died so many times, to make his death kind of feel convincing.
Funny detail. I like how he mentions that he dies a lot.
Yeah, it's funny. He mentions it a couple of times. He mentions it on Lamentis, and he mentions it when he sees the timekeepers. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I got a theory on that. But yeah, I think it's I was like, they did not. I'm like, no, you did not do that again. And I'm but I knew he was going to be in the show somehow, obviously. But
well, yeah, I also
because of the trailers.
When he died, I was just like, but we see him in New York. We see him on Asgard. We see him in Stark Tower. So right. I feel President Loki. We still haven't seen that. I feel like that's going to be a finale thing.
I feel like that's next episode.
I thought it was either going to be episode 1 or episode 6. I don't feel like it could be anywhere in between.
Okay.
Well, no, maybe episode 5 because they're in the New York where he wins. So,
right. Yeah, I thought the last 20 minutes was fantastic. The action, the twist, the heartbreak. My man Mobius, rest in peace. Ka-chow. You gotta do it like that. You gotta go ka-chow. Well, he's not dead.
No, he's just back.
He's on a jet ski. He's just on a jet ski. Yeah.
Which I love. I love that. Mobius. He seems so stone cold. Like, nope, I don't believe what you're saying. But then when he actually looked into it, he went and got Loki. Which again, like we were saying, we knew when he got pruned that he wasn't dead. We knew we were going to see him again. But yeah, I just I don't know. I mean, Mobius, I want to see Mobius again. I want to see him get on that jet ski. I really want to see it happen.
I agree. So actually, I want to hear your complaints first. I want to hear what were your big complaints with this episode, or minor complaints? What did you?
Oh no, this one was a major complaint. I did not like that they were basically insinuating Loki had feelings for Loki.
I thought it was so funny. I thought it made a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't, because because from what I get, because WandaVision and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier had two very, very prevalent themes. One was about grief, and one was about overcoming, racial oppression and whatnot. I don't get an overall theme from the show other than self-love, because if we honestly look, what created a branch timeline for Sylvie was the fact that she was having fun and was enjoying herself. That's what created the branch timeline.
Right.
Not any big thing like she killed Thor, or she killed her mother, or she killed Odin. No, literally the fact that she was having fun while playing with her toys. That's what created the branch timeline. So And it also was weird because it was just like, yeah, were they trying to? I mean, they basically were saying that Loki was having feelings for Loki, which is really weird. That is like self-love. I get that. Love yourself, love who you are. Don't make out with yourself. Don't make out with the other gender of you. That's weird. I'm sorry. I know that sounds wrong, but it's weird. It's a weird thing to see that Loki was falling for himself, basically.
Plus, it was like the worst Nexus event Mobius had seen, which is
right!
the crazy thing.
How is that the worst thing you've seen? Like, when I think of big Nexus events, I'm thinking like all the times that Sylvie killed the Minutemen and whatnot. I'm thinking, oh yeah, that could probably be.
Or Thanos died somehow. Like Thanos died in a different timeline somehow
right
before. Yeah.
Nope. Loki almost doing it with Loki. That created the branch. Which another thing that I'm hoping that we get more into was, and I really hope it's not the answer of what created that weird branch on the sacred timeline. I really hope it was not Loki falling in love with Loki, and it was something else.
I think that's what it is.
Because they were saying how they don't think it was only Loki pulling the strings. They think there was someone else that they were working with. Which I don't know. I like to think it's just Loki being Loki. But
so this is how I interpret it. So basically, it's a whole big visual metaphor of Loki finding self-love. I know it's a little weird, but it's a visual metaphor of Loki finally loving himself and not feeling alone. Essentially, Loki feels alone because he doesn't feel like he has a purpose. Because he doesn't love himself. He talks about it in episode 1. He talks about it in this episode. The illusion he has that he's powerful.
I mean, the thing is also is like
what holds Loki back is that he doesn't love himself.
Well, not only that, it's he seeks attention. He seeks attention from people like Frigga and Odin because he feels like they've never been equal towards him and Thor. And
which they do have an argument. He does have an argument there.
But then it comes to find out that he feels this way because he's a frost giant and Thor isn't. Thor is actually Asgardian. Which,
right.
Yeah, that's fine. But I feel like we've already seen that before with the talk with him in Ragnarok. And then with the end credit scene in Ragnarok, when Thor says if he was actually here, he'd give him a hug. And then he actually was there. I feel like that would have been a better arc and a better message for Loki, other than you should just love yourself and just not be alone. Because again, it's like I think it's also like a comparative thing to how WandaVision and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier handled their themes of grief. And I think WandaVision, of course, like when addressing its thing of grief. It had that amazing vision quote of what is grief if not love persevering. And then with Falcon and the Winter Soldier's theme of, overcoming oppression, you had Sam talking to that senator or whatever he was, saying that he's a black man carrying the stars and stripes. What doesn't he understand? But I guess the thing for Loki would be Loki almost had sex with himself. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. Which it feels kind of like you saying you really think there can be any other way? I think maybe a better thing could have been, even though something looks like it's bad now, it's always going to get better. Like we could easily have that shown off, like with the first episode. Like he sees Frigga's death, things look bad, but then he sees as his life goes on. Things get better. He becomes brothers with Thor, although albeit short-lived. Things still, come to fruition. Even though he dies right after that happens. We don't talk about that. It's just the theme of the show, and that whole thing right there, it kind of feels like yucky. It feels like Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, I get it. I really do love that whole conversation though. They talk about, again, another reoccurring theme is what does it mean to be a Loki? Uh, and as Lady Loki says, we're destined to fail. And as our Loki, Tom Hiddleston, says, we may be destined to fail, but we never die. We always get back up. And I have a theory about why Lokis are always destined to lose. And I guess I'll get into that a little bit. I really think that it's Kane the Conqueror. Can I just say it? I really think it's Kane pulling the strings here with the TVA. And I really believe that Kane's whole plan is to take out certain people in the timeline, specifically Loki's, because they're wild cards. We don't know what they're gonna do. They're gods of mischief. We don't know how they're gonna act. They're very unpredictable. Thanos took away a big villain. Hela, Odin, Iron Man,
Yeah, I mean,
Captain America's essentially got.
we talked about this this theory that
Yeah,
maybe you have. But yeah, Kang is probably just playing chess with the timeline. You know,
right.
we probably this is just me, but um when the two Lokis were brought before the timekeepers, I thought where they were looked a bit different than when we saw them earlier. So I was thinking like, first of all, the CGI is really bad for the timekeepers. It was Black Panther bad, like from that final fight with him and Killmonger. It was
That
bad.
doesn't bother me. I mean, it was jarring. They looked. I'm
It
like,
was.
you
They
could have
looked like
done like better with Muppets.
they
I
looked like
think like,
PS4 characters, bro. They looked like a
oh, they were
low
bad.
poly PS4 character.
Just when they were moving their mouth and stuff, I'm like, this looks. What is this?
Yeah,
I was like, it was bad.
and the timekeepers, bro. They looked like puppets. They looked like
Yeah,
animatronics. They didn't look
yeah.
real. And then like
Which again, listen, I think the Yoda puppet and Empire and Return of the Jedi is great, but that felt real. Like this didn't feel real. This
yeah,
just felt like
like
a weird like animatronic that's like
yeah. I mean
I didn't know what was happening. It was weird.
the three times we see Yoda as a puppet, Empire, Return of the Jedi, and The Last Jedi, he looks amazing in all those movies. But every time we see him in the prequels, he doesn't feel real. He doesn't feel like Yoda.
Right.
And that kind of feels the same way here. They didn't feel real. So when it came up that they actually aren't real, it's someone else pulling the strings for the TVA. It's just like, yeah, I probably could have told you that by how bad the CGI was, because there is no way you're gonna put that much effort into CGI just for them to be fake.
Plus they just sat there. Like they didn't do any they just literally just
Right.
sat there. They didn't move, they didn't get out of the way. They just sat there.
Yeah, and I will say one of my favorite details when Loki gets pruned. I love how his face disappears, like how Vision did when Wanda closed the hex. How his face was the last thing to go. Typically, when we see people get pruned, they would always go like face first down, and kind of like their body would meet up in the middle. His body kind of went just like Vision from the feet up, and had his face be the last thing. I was like, you know what? It looked just like Vision. Which honestly, dude, now that I think about it, like, I really think like, if Kang is pulling the strings, like he most likely is, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, it's taking place in the quantum realm. We know that's a place that has access to things like time travel. Kang probably is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And, I really think like, I think honestly the biggest wild card wouldn't be a Loki in the timeline, probably be Wanda's. Wanda's are honestly to me the biggest wild cards.
Well, she's a Nexus being.
Exactly, that's why.
A multiversal, being. She can open the multiverse.
Yeah, and so I think we didn't get to talk about this, but I think since we're here on the Marvel side of our podcast, with the whole WandaVision post-credit scene being edited, I honestly think that was a clip taken from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And what if we do see our Loki? You know, before this episode, I would have told you it was almost a guarantee. But now I honestly think we're going to see Sylvie instead.
I wouldn't mind that.
I think that's what we'll see. And I honestly, you know, it is weird because, like, Sylvie, when she popped on all of those, time resets onto the timeline, TVA was in panic. Like, what are they going to do? I didn't like how they kind of like glanced over that fact. And that when we come back to the TVA, it was kind of just like, yep, that's dealt with. Mazel tov. Good job, everyone. So
okay, yeah. I guess to your point, we'll talk about the post-credit scene change. Yeah, it's probably a scene. It's probably Wanda's introduction in Multiverse of Madness. I'm guessing. I'm guessing she's not going to be the villain. That's what I had originally thought.
nah, I think the villain's definitely Mordo since he got
No, definitely
confirmed.
not. I
I
think
do.
it's Suma Gormanoff. It's the giant Suma Gormanoff. That's what everyone's saying. It's making sense because American Chavez is essentially also a multiversal being in the comics. So like the Suma Gormanoff is essentially like a giant space octopus that travels through the multiverse that sucks people away.
Maybe.
It takes over worlds, but that would make the most sense if we're going to introduce America Chavez, have Wanda. Mordo wouldn't make sense. You could still have him as an antagonist, but he's just not powerful enough. Like he's not going to do. He's just not going to do anything. Like Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange has already dealt with Dormammu. We've been told that he's like a powerful interdimensional being. I don't need to see Strange fight another sorcerer. That's just he's in the movie, but I don't know what type of role he has.
Right.
Probably small.
I mean,
that's just my thing.
Here's the thing: is that
you can't have a lesser villain. You just can't have a.
It's hard to tell right now. With Spider-Man: No Way Home coming out first before Multiverse of Madness, I thought with Loki we were definitely after what Sylvie did. I thought we were going to be seeing the multiverse open up, and then we would see in Spider-Man the repercussions for what happened, and then it would be dealt with in Doctor Strange. But now that again, since it kind of just got covered up, like we fixed the problem. Again, Mazel Tov, it's all finished. So I don't know. I mean, I would like to think that it's probably the multiverse is probably going to get opened back up from this show. So I don't know. I mean, it too much right now is going on for us to see any tie-ins to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I still think Loki sets it up, but I think the end credit scene kind of teases at that fact. But yeah, basically, I guess we're going all around here, but I wanted to continue my Kane theory. I think that by the end of the show, the TVA is done for. And I think that Kane's okay with that because he knows he has other realms, the quantum realm, to attack. He's going to lose the TVA, but he's not going to mind. He's going to be like, I'm going to go to the quantum realm because he knows about that as the sacred timeline keeper. So I don't think like Kane has multiple plans. Like Kane is almost going to be like Palpatine in the sense that he has multiple plans for everything. He's thought through everything. And yeah, he's gonna capitalize when he gets a chance.
Right, and he's gonna clone himself, right, and come back 30 years later, and he's gonna go after a main character who we thought was just a nobody, and it turned out to be his granddaughter.
Maybe that would be
yeah.
the rise of Kane. That would be
right. The rise of Laufey's son.
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess we could kind of talk about the end credit scene because that's what everybody's talking about. So, the end credit scene, we find out Loki is not dead. He asks, "Am I in hell?" I originally thought he actually meant the hell that we know, but somebody pointed out that
HL,
which is one of the 9 realms, which I only know Valheim, Jotunheim, Asgard, Earth.
Earth is
or
not
Midgard.
I was gonna say it's called Midgard.
Hell is 4 more I don't know. Sorry, I don't do Norse mythology. I'm sorry about that. I'm more, yeah, I was gonna make a bad mythology joke. Never
I
mind.
think one of them is Nidavellir. Nidavellir. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, but yeah. So Loki gets up, and then we see uh, old man Loki, played by
Richard E.
Richard E.
Grant,
Grant,
General
uh,
Pride.
which I will say, I know his costume is comic accurate, but it's horrible.
So ugly.
It's horrible.
So
It's horrible.
ugly.
I think what throws it off is the horns. I really
Yes,
do.
I think they're. I don't remember if they're. I think they look just a little too too big.
They look like balloons that you would blow up at a
What
carnival.
is going on right now with my webcam?
This camera's going. Okay, there we go.
All right, so sorry, I had to look up the answer. The 9 realms are Asgard, Midgard, Jotunheim. Oh God, I don't even know how to say this. Svartalfheim. I don't know how to say it. Vanaheim, Nidavellir, Niflheim. Oh my God, these are so hard to say. Muspelheim, and Alfheim.
Okay.
You got 2 of those right. No, 3 of those right.
Thank you. Yeah. So his costume like threw the scene off for me because the other 3 Lokis kind of have the same outfit. If you want to pull that picture up, so people can see, his costume just looks disgusting. I thought WandaVision had some like not great costumes except for Scarlet Witches, and I hold that sentiment here. Like that was just, it threw everything off for me. I'm like, this looks like something a kid would wear for Halloween. It's like that doesn't make sense.
It's so bad looking, dude. Like,
and then we had Crocodile Loki, which is like, why did he get pruned? And how did that happen?
Yes, dude.
We have Kid Loki, who I think may survive. Kid Loki,
Maybe.
part of the Young Avengers. And then we have.
Well, here's the thing: is from the Young Avengers, we know there is someone who is controlled and possessed by Loki, and it's Enchantress, who got mixed with Sylvie. So sure, why not? The picture I have, it's pretty low res, but hold on, give me a sec.
I mean, I think you can find it on Twitter, probably in better quality. I don't know.
Then I have to log into Twitter, and I'm too lazy to do that.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to continue to talk about it. So it seems like, in earlier episodes, they talk about how they've caught like a lot of Loki variants. So I assume these are all Loki variants who have been pruned. And
yeah,
these Lokis are in a time, place, thing where the Avengers Tower is destroyed. Presumably, Tony Stark failed at his job and didn't get the nuke into the starship in the first Avengers, and Loki won. So I love how I explained that. So
no.
So
let me share my screen. This is what. Wait, hold on. This is what we should have gotten in the end of the episode. Yes! This is what we should have gotten. This is what we should have seen.
Why does that picture of Lightning? Why does that picture? No, go back. Why does that picture of Lightning McQueen just throw everything off? Just the way he's.
Dude, look how shocked he looks, dude. Oh my gosh.
I love Owen Wilson.
Hold on, let's
These
see.
memes are good, by the way.
Oh, here. Oh, didn't mean to turn audio on.
Here we go.
And ka-chow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we have Crocodile Loki, which just brings up a whole bunch of problems. I don't know how that happens.
You get a bad timeline with him.
We have Kid Loki, who looks like a boss.
Yes, I love the outfit. I love.
And then we have Richard E. Grant. Just looks like he does not want to be there. He just looks
Yeah.
like he hates his life. I would hate my life too if I was in that costume. That just looks bad.
He looks like, I don't know if the paycheck's worth this.
Then we have Black Loki, who has a hammer. Now, I heard some people saying he might have
He
been
looks
worthy
like
in
he
this timeline.
no, he looks like the Loki from the Thor: The Dark World deleted scene when he plays an illusion that he became the ruler of Asgard and became worthy. I don't know. I just like look, he's carrying his little bag. Look how just disappointed he looks. He looks like this is not worth it. Not worth the paycheck.
It looks like somebody in Sesame Street. It looks like
Yes.
he should be in Sesame Street. And by the
Like,
way,
look.
I want to say that say this: the actor who plays young Sylvie also plays Rey in The Force Awakens.
Look at her go. Look at you go.
These
This
memes
shit.
are so good.
Look.
Why is there a crocodile? I have so many questions about this.
I love that it has the horns, but
Is it going to talk? If it talks, I'm.
dude, I'll freak out. This is so bad.
Why?
I'm
Why?
done. I'm
Why?
done.
Oh man.
Who did that?
So so what do you think? What's up with these Lokis? What do you think they're gonna do?
Well, he asked if he was dead, and he said not, and they said not yet. So I don't. Sorry, I'm looking at more of the alligator memes. uh, sorry, some of these are so bad. You see, look. Let me share this.
Oh
with
my
you.
god, this is divulged into a Loki meme show, which is okay. I don't mind. I like looking at.
Look, I'm not the only one who has a problem with it.
Yeah. Well.
See, you see, I'm not the only one.
Uh,
But yeah, I mean, I think. Well, I mean, here's the thing: is like, I hope Richard E. Grant, when we see him in the next episode, I hope he doesn't look so dead. Yeah. Ew. I'm seeing people say that they want a Young Avengers movie, and they want, instead of having Spider-Man be the stand-in for Iron Man, they want someone else. They want they want a young kid to take over for what's it called? First Peter. They want the kid from Iron Man 3 to be the new Iron Man. It's not like Far From Home set up Spider-Man as the the new Iron Man, but whatever, okay. I don't question anymore. And they want Loki to be a part of this crew. I don't think that would ever happen, unfortunately.
I want Loki to be like in everything. I just want all of these Lokis to escape. This is it should be a joke in the MCU now that Loki's just in everything. We just see Loki
Yes.
everywhere now. Like Loki is somehow in Fantastic Four. Like he's just walking around in a background scene.
Right, because why not?
Yeah.
Because why not? He has to be everywhere. If he's not,
because we have so many now. We have 6.
oh,
We need to see it. I need to see this.
it's another one. Oh no!
I can never take Lightning McQueen seriously in these. I just every time I see him, like,
Dude, what the heck?
am I dead?
Oh wait!
Wait.
See, look. His face, it looks like Jimmy Fallon. Dude.
Wait, what's the?
Oh, what happened?
What's the Cars one?
Hold on. Look at these parallels, dude. Look at them. We just watched this movie.
We did.
What's going on now?
I'm sorry. What's this?
The moment Lightning McQueen became a variant. Oh no.
Oh man,
This is bad.
that's
Yeah.
bad.
I've been trying to answer the same question you asked me like 5 minutes ago. I don't know. I really want to see how Crocodile Loki became.
How did he cause a problem? Like, what was he was just walking around in Asgard and like.
I also want to know how Kid Loki became a problem. I can get how old Loki became a problem. He looks fucking stupid, so that could be a problem in itself. But
how did old Loki even happen? How did that even like happen? He never became old.
But then, not to mention, Black Loki. That's the one I honestly am most interested in. Like, is that hammer supposed to be the Mjolnir of that timeline?
I don't think so.
I don't either. I feel like it's kind of just like another play on the Thor: The Dark World deleted scene. Excuse me, I almost just choked on air.
It would be interesting to see that. I'd like to see the route where somehow Loki became worthy. But then again, the TVA is very confusing. Like the TVA has to be the worst organization on the planet. Like they are worse than the NSA, the NCAA. They're the worst. They kidnapped a child because it played with the wrong toy.
Correct.
Not because it was a girl instead of a boy. Not because she killed Thor. Nah, she played with the wrong toy.
Yeah. Here, let me share the screen because this is what I'm referring to really fast.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm very confused
about this Thor: The Dark World deleted scene. So this is what would have been the opening scene of the movie. This was the original one.
Wait, is that Owen Wilson? Is that Owen Wilson?
No, this is Thor: The Dark World, not Loki.
No, but was.
Of course, we can't play any audio, so
right.
But there are subtitles like pre-made into this.
Very nice. Oh.
Freak of the Buzzkill. No, I can't see I can't see what he's saying. Yeah, there's not even anything right here. Oh wait, this isn't an opening. Oh.
No, it's just an illusion.
Yeah, so that's what he reminds me of. Is that deleted scene?
Okay, so we know this. So he's got to do something to make sure he doesn't die. But essentially, they can't do anything. They're trapped there, right? That's what I'm gathering.
No, I feel like what they're probably gonna do. I feel like those Lokis were waiting for another Loki to show up, so that way they could just go cause chaos throughout the timeline. And so when Loki says in the trailer, when he says that when he's President Loki, he's like, "Well, what did you expect?" Maybe he's.
What did you expect?
When you're saying that, he's saying that to the other Lokis, and then when he has all those people like put the weapons to him, that's other variants of Loki that we could be seeing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to speculate.
That could get crazy. So it's Loki. I'm calling it Loki Land. Land. It's just a bunch of Lokis.
Honestly, this could honestly be Loki, where all the things in where he would try to be the villain, like when he tried to win in New York, when he tried to take over Asgard, and all that. We could be seeing it where this could be a reality where Loki wins everything.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Too much, man.
This is what I think is going to happen. We're going to have show on two fronts now. Sylvie is going to interrogate Renslayer. Sylvie is going to try to get Loki back.
Maybe.
And kill Kane, but obviously Kane's not going to get killed.
I don't know. I don't think she'll say anything about Kane the Conqueror.
Do you think we see Kane in the show? I don't. I think we get alluded to him, but I don't think he's in the show.
I think he'll get name dropped at the most.
I agree. Or it could be a post-credit scene where you just see like Kane.
I don't know.
But I think that'd be interesting. But anyways, uh yeah, I think there's two fronts. I think Loki causes chaos because we know he's got to go to Asgard. You know he's going to become president,
He's got to go
which
to
is
Stark
weird.
Tower.
Which is weird because he's president of the
United
place he just took
States.
over.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a pretty forceful election.
Yeah,
So your choices are me and me.
your choice is an Asgardian who, uh, well, technically in Earth years wouldn't be old enough,
All right, maybe.
and is not a U.S. citizen for long enough.
Right. You know what I would like to think of in the actual timeline? What would happen if an Asgardian and a normal person had a baby?
Had a kid.
How long
I
would
think
that
it.
child live?
I think it just depends on the genes it gets. So that child's either really fortunate or
Really unlucky.
yeah.
Because look, here's the thing: it's like, would you want to live for 5,000 years? Because I wouldn't.
I think that'd be pretty dope, honestly.
I wouldn't, because you know why? You're gonna meet so many people, they're all gonna die. I
think
mean,
that
unless you're all Asgardian, that is.
I think that well, you'd have more chances to die by accident.
Maybe. Maybe. And I feel like, could you imagine being like super unhealthy for like 4,000 years?
Plus, like Asgard's dope, but it's just Asgard.
Well, there
That's
is
it.
no Asgard anymore, so
Yeah, which is weird. Now we can kind of have that in the MCU. Like, there's gonna be people. Like, don't you think it's weird that you see a spaceship and then people just stop there?
well, here's the
Like,
thing, dude. Is
you're not
apparently that's normal for now. You remember the Infinity War Stanley cameo? Like, what? You kids never seen a spaceship before?
right.
So, look, anything can happen, okay? This is the MCU. That would honestly be probably like, if we think about it, like, if we were casting Young Avengers, you know, when we think of those Young Avengers, we would want probably, if the Avenger had kids, you would probably want them to, their kids probably to be the people who replace them. What if Thor and I guess we're gonna call her Lady Thor now. You know, Jane Foster. What if they have a kid? You know, it'd be really effed up.
That's gonna
What
be a
if,
godly figure.
what if their kid wasn't worthy of Mjolnir? Oh, that'd be
funny.
That'd be so effed, bro.
By the way, she's called the Mighty Thor. That's what she's called.
Oh,
The Mighty Thor.
Not Thor. I thought that's what Thor was called.
No, Jane Foster's called Mighty Thor.
That's so stupid. I feel like you could come up with a better name. Because I feel like when I think of Mighty Thor, I think of normal Thor. Which, like, honestly, dude, I'm really excited to see that in Love and Thunder. Sorry to go off topic. So, when we think of Young Avengers, how many people do we have in that crew?
So we have Patriot, Elijah Bradley.
No. Not. I know who's in it, but how many do we want? Do we want to stick to 6?
I don't care. I don't.
We'll do 8 max. So do we have? So let's say we have Patriot as one of them. Do we both agree on that?
Yeah, the Maximoff twins.
We have twins. We have. Do we want to include Loki?
Yeah, sure, if we want to.
All right, so we have the kid Loki from the show.
We haven't been introduced to a lot of them yet, but
I mean, we could have either Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop. Yeah, I totally forgot about her. Yeah.
We could have Stature. Cassie.
Yes, right. She's gonna be in the Ant-Man Quantumanium.
Stupid recast, by the way. I feel so bad for the actor who played Cassie in Endgame.
Hulkin, right? There's another one, Hulkin, right? Well, maybe that's gonna be She-Hulk. I don't know. Which is the MCU property I am not excited for.
I am. I'm excited to see Mark Ruffalo again.
I think Edward Norton's a better Hulk. That movie's not good, but Edward Norton's a better Hulk in my opinion.
Nah.
Hulk was just a joke after the first Avengers movie. Nothing.
That's what he should have always been. Was a joke character.
Really, Hulk?
You think how serious do you think it could be for someone who can barely speak?
I don't think he should be serious, but I think he should actually like do something in the movies. What does he do in Infinity War and Endgame besides lose to Thanos?
In Endgame, he's super smart.
Yeah.
And
I get more of a Bruce Banner than a
what about Thor Ragnarok?
Oh, cool. He fights on Sakaar against Thor.
No. We get to see good side of Hulk. Funny Hulk. Best Hulk.
He throws the damn wolf, and then he goes up and tries to kill Surtur and gets thrown away.
No. It's his conversation with Thor talking about what kind of fires they like. That's the best conversation.
Oh, he also gets out of the hot tub and he's bare naked. That's hilarious.
Yes,
that's peak comedy.
Yes. And then when he throws the thing at Valkyrie and asks her to stay, that's amazing.
Stupid Avenger.
Tiny Avenger. That's what they call him. Tiny Avenger. Tiny Avenger.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. To go back to Loki, I think there's going to be two fronts. Sylvie's going to help out Loki.
Sylvie should just be the new main character.
That's a hot take.
No, it's not.
It's a hot take.
No.
Flames coming off that take.
Theories and Straw Hat both agree, and almost everyone in the comment section agree that Sylvie should take over as the main protagonist.
I disagree. I still think it's Loki's story.
It is still Loki's story.
So that's not that you can't switch main protagonist like halfway through a show, or
Sure
4/6 of the way of a show. So 2/3. You can't do that.
Sure you can. It's the same person. It's just in a different body.
That's like saying in The Rise of Skywalker, Ben Solo should have been the main character. Like
he was the main character.
He was?
His
really?
redemption was. You think Rey was the main character in this story? That's funny. If there's a character who has a redemption, in my eyes, they're either second to main character or they are the main character.
So Vader's the protagonist of Return of the Jedi?
Yes. Literally every movie he's in, he's the main character.
Maybe other than A New Hope.
I know. Maybe other than A New Hope. That would go to Luke. Maybe even debatable for Empire Strikes Back. But Return of the Jedi, that is definitely Vader's movie. Even like if we even look at it, Thanos is supposed to be seen as the antagonist in Infinity War, but he's most certainly the protagonist of the movie. And the Avengers are supposed to be seen as the bad guys, trying to stop him.
Yeah. Oh, I guess you have a fair point there.
And in Endgame, he's seen as this super evil bad guy who's like...
You can't change it like in the show. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they changed who Captain America was.
That's okay, whatever. But yeah, I still think it's gonna follow our main Loki. We still got a lot of things to do with him. Obviously, he's got to become president. He's also got to go and be the king of Asgard.
I'm not saying like they should just like throw the character away and be like, eh.
He's got to say Mobius, which by the way was a sad death.
We don't see Mobius at all in the show. I'm starting a riot.
Which, by the way, I'm starting to think that there's multiple Mobiuses. Like he starts to figure it out every time, but they prove.
Well, no, like yes. So that was my theory. Was the reason why he always kept forgetting about the stains when he would put the cup there? It's because he'd have to be reset all the time because something changed about him. So like you can't take like again, the smallest things can create a branch timeline. So you could easily, like, again, Sylvie was just enjoying herself and created a branch time. An alligator or crocodile started one. So anything can go, apparently, with the
that must have been an interesting relationship with Odin.
Yeah. They're all crocodiles instead of...
Oh, my God, that would be funny. A Thor crocodile?
Could you imagine? It's a universe full of crocodiles.
Imagine the Avengers movie, like Iron Man has like a crocodile suit instead of
Yes. That's
Captain America still has a shield, but it's like a crocodile shield.
that's the movie we need. That's the movie we need. Is the timeline where they're all crocodiles.
The Croc Vengers.
Yes. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Sylvie though should take
Crocodile
over.
Crocodile Thanos.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I was thinking, I'm like, imagine they mentioned like we've brought in Kree, Titans, and vampires, which alludes to Blade a little bit, but I want to see like I wish we saw like just like Thanos, like a random variant of Thanos just in the TVA. That would be so funny to me to just see
Yeah.
like Thanos like arrested and like the almighty Titan Thanos just like in the TVA. That'd be so
Yeah.
funny.
You know what else I find really messed up is that Renslayer just has trophies of variants she basically kills.
Yeah, she's messed. I don't think she's a variant herself.
I do. I think she's super brainwashed though.
I think they're gonna go with the comic relationship. I think she's a love interest to Kane.
Well, I think that also, but I think she's a variant.
You think that?
Yeah. I think everyone in the TVA is.
I don't think she is because when she hears from one of the Minutemen that about the brainwashing, she immediately turns the video off and she like knows it. Like it's happened before to her.
Maybe. Possibility, but I don't know. Which yeah, like I find funny how I find that whole subplot really funny. How C20 was basically like, oh, she's alive, but she's not able to speak, basically. And then we see the video, which also is just like, I like how they were just waiting for them outside of the thing. Also, it's like, why didn't they just go back in? Why didn't they just go back in? Renslayer eventually would have had to go in there.
Yeah.
Are you telling me Mobius and Loki couldn't fight them off?
Right.
Also, speaking of going back into that place, Lady Sif came back.
Yes. She did.
She's been back in a long, long time.
8 years. 8 years, in fact.
Yes. We know she out of those original friends from Thor, she's the only to survive. She was not killed in Ragnarok.
How did the other ones die? I don't know.
Hela killed them. Do we need to
Really?
rewatch Ragnarok?
Were they on screen? I don't know.
Yes, they were on screen.
Cool.
When right after Hela breaks Mjolnir and she goes up to Asgard after Loki says, "Bring us back."
I know what happens. Oh, in the room with Scourge, right?
Yes, and he's like, "I'm just the janitor."
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Now I remember.
The big boy, the small boy, die, and then the Asian guy. I don't know their names. then Hela gives that big speech, and he's like, "Whoever you are, you leave."
Yeah.
I don't know what he says. And then she's like, "Whoever I may be, did you not hear a word I just said?" I'm being very problematic right now.
Yeah.
So I can't. I want to see Lady Sif in Thor: Love and Thunder.
I think she will be.
Yeah, I mean,
that scene was so. Think about this. Loki was going to have an endless time loop of him getting abused. That was Loki's destiny. It's just him getting abused over and over again.
Beat the shit out of by Sif.
He couldn't run away. It's just stuck there. That's worse. That's worse than death.
I honestly would have liked to see. What if he tried to fight Sif back?
He would lose. He's a weak boy.
Are we sure? Are we sure he couldn't just figure it out after a while?
No.
Are you sure? He figured out after a while how to stop or make her stop.
Right, but that was because Mobius wanted him to. This time it's just an endless loop.
Which, yeah, I mean, like the whole endless loop thing. We've seen it before in Doctor Strange with Dormammu. Which, yeah, it's like that's honestly a worse thing to have happen than death, because it never stops. It's always gonna happen. Same outcome, no matter how much you try, how hard
Can't
you
prevent it.
move.
Can't stop it.
Which, like, I would have liked instead of having Sif do it, have it be something with Thor.
That would have been good.
Or
But then again, but Chris Hemsworth and Thor himself would overshadow the scene. You know what I'm saying? You can't have Thor in this because he would overshadow Loki. That's essentially why Thor's not in the show. He'd essentially overshadow Loki.
Or, hear me out, have it be the moment from the first Avengers movie when Hulk busts through the window and slams him into the ground.
Again, Hulk would overshadow Loki.
No, we wouldn't. No, it's Hulk. No.
Hulk has more relevance than Loki.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does. Hulk.
Are you okay?
In pop culture, if you were to go up to a random person and say, "Do you know who Hulk?"
Random person? This is a Marvel. This is a Marvel TV show.
Right. Alex, we got to talk about average fan, not the diehard. Average fan's gonna know Hulk.
We are talking average, but we're not. If we go through that scene again, it's not going to be a whole thing of like, oh my god, Hulk's in the show. Like maybe if Thor, like I could see the whole Thor reason why not, because it's Chris Hemsworth.
Hulk would overshadow the scene. Hulk would overshadow it.
It would create a big buzz, but I would not think people would be talking only about Thor or Hulk from that episode. So much more happened in this episode where I don't think it would even matter.
Okay, that's fair. All right, what else are we going to talk about? We talked about how Renslayer is an awful human being.
B-15. She started the cavalry. She started the mutiny.
She got pruned as well, correct?
She either got stabbed or got pruned.
Yeah. By the way, that area where the timekeepers were looked a lot like Exegol.
It did. A lot of Rise of Skywalker connections with the show.
A lot of connections to the third worst Star Wars movie. Not the worst anymore, the third worst. Looking at you, Attack of the Clones. Sorry. But no. It gave me Rise of Skywalker vibes, and it was good. I thought the fight choreography was good. By the way, did the people protecting the timekeepers look different?
They looked a whole lot more stupid.
They were definitely like the royal guards that we see guarding Palpatine that do nothing, and the Sith
movie? In which movie?
Oh, I'm talking about like the Imperial Red Guards.
Oh, I was gonna say because we see them 3 different times. We see them in Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, and in the Rise of Skywalker.
Well, the Rise of Skywalker, isn't it Sith troopers, right?
I mean, they're basically the same thing.
And they suck also. They can't do anything. So, just a thing for toys. But
they didn't even get a single toy made after them. That's the funny part. It was a different style of guard.
Really?
Yeah, it's not just the red like trooper that we see like fighting Finn. It's a different version. So they have like the Royal Guard gowns, I think, with like a different helmet. So sorry to actually.
Yeah, this is guys. We have Alex on this podcast just because he knows way too much shit about unimportant stuff. I don't pay. Sorry, but I think that's gonna wrap it up for our talk about Loki. We will be back. Next.
Wait right there, young man. What do you rate this episode?
It gets a 9 out of 10.
10 out of 10. No, I'm joking. It's definitely 9 out of 10.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back next Wednesday for Loki episode 5 review and a preview of everyone's most anticipated MCU project, Black Widow. So far, mixed reviews on it. It's got an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm kind of concerned because I've heard things that this feels like a Phase 1 film, and I feel like I'm going to get Captain Marveled again, which is going to suck because I love
On
the
July
character
2nd,
Black Widow.
I'm uninstalling TikTok, Instagram, and any other social media.
You mean July the 9th?
Second,
Comes out the 9th. Today's the 30th.
it's gonna be a week before. Maybe
Why-
I'll push it to like the 5th or whatever.
Why are you uninstalling a week before?
Because people who got to see it early, they get to talk about spoilers soon, and you know, there are those people who like to talk about it regardless. So I also just don't want to be told like, oh, you're gonna enjoy this relationship. You're probably not gonna enjoy that. Shut the fuck up.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I've heard it's got a lot of action in it, but I don't want just like an action movie.
Look,
That's
here's
not.
the thing: is I want one of two things. I want either one, a Captain America or Iron Man cameo, or
Overshadow the movie.
no, it would not. You have a weird thing of overshadowing.
Why does Iron Man need to be in the movie? It makes no sense.
It does make sense. It takes place right after Civil War.
Oh my God.
It would make sense that at one point after that, she would try to go revisit Tony to try to clear up the air.
Okay, whatever. That's fine.
Or secondly, okay, I forgot what my second movie was going to be. You fucking distracted me.
Yeah, sorry, but I thought your idea was stupid.
No, it's not. Well, we should see Captain America because we know she's with him at this point. Or at least a mention, like, I'm going to go call Steve real fast. Have you heard from Steve? Something.
I have heard that. Yeah.
Don't you fucking spoil it. I will leave this room right now.
I'm just saying, like, I've heard non-spoiler stuff. People complaining about the villain, but
Taskmaster?
Yeah.
He was a pretty bad villain in the Spider-Man game, so. Well, what are you going to do? All he does is mimic whatever you do.
I don't know. I'm worried. It's going to be Captain. I don't want to be on TikTok if that movie's not good. I don't know.
No, the one movie I do not want to be on, if it's bad, is Spider-Man or Doctor Strange. Like, Shang-Chi, Eternals, if people don't like them, then whatever. But if those movies are bad, we're in for a hell of a just.
No,
bad
I think the one in a year or so, Kenobi.
Nah.
If Kenobi's bad, then.
Yeah. But I think for movie sake, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, probably.
Doesn't that come out February of next year?
I think it's April.
I could have sworn it was February.
No, it's May. Because Strange comes out in March. Thor: Love and Thunder comes out in May. Black Panther in July. What comes out in August of that year?
Oh, yeah. May 6th. Wow, 2 days after May the 4th.
Yep, they're going to steal, of course.
Revenge of the 6th. They're stealing Revenge of the 6th. Wow.
Because Lucasfilm sucks. The Thor: Love and Thunder will steal that week.
It's on a Friday, too.
Damn.
Yeah, so,
on Wednesday. By the way, the biggest Star Wars story that I'm going to talk about on Friday is how people complain about a Lego ship. But yeah, that's going to end the podcast. Thank you for watching, Alex. Thank you for coming on. As always, they can find him at Candy in My Van on TikTok and on Instagram. He's going to start posting Mark 85 stuff on there. He's not going to. Never mind. You can find me on TikTok at HandMeToMan. If you're watching on YouTube, come watch these Loki reviews on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on my Twitch at HandMeToMan. And if you're watching live on my Twitch, I want to thank you for being here. You could check this episode out on my YouTube tomorrow, which will be Thursday, at Drew H. I want to thank everybody for coming. And we will see you all Friday for a Bad Batch episode 10 review. And see you all then.